And welcome back, picking up where we left off last time in Factorio Space Age, where we're back on Novice. We fixed the oil over the last two parts, so we should have excessive amounts of oil. One thing that I need to probably expand now is we're probably going to want more iron and steel and science and stuff. So one thing I'm thinking of doing is making it so we can basically fill up half the belt at full speed of each of the science bands. Now, needless to say, that's going to require lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of inputs. Trying to decide how I want to pin this to the factory in a way that doesn't get into or away with other expansions. Could move the solar panels, I suppose. Because also, obviously, as I build the new base, I still need the old base. So I can't just tear up the old base. Could potentially just build it north of the train station instead of south of the train station. That would work too. That might actually make some sense. Yeah, build northward instead of southward. So I'm thinking that probably will be fine. We have a slight bit problem. We're not going to want to run right along the wall there. Doesn't need to be a perfect spread, I suppose. Yeah, and that will work pretty well. Okay. I'll check in to see if those power poles need adjusting. Let's just assume they do. That will work there. Or not, should work there. But yeah, we'll build the new base north of the train station. Probably just redesign the train station at some point. At some point the walls probably aren't required if it's dead center of the base. And potentially I need to go take those bases out. I'm going to need more iron, I'm going to need copper. I suppose. This is actually something I should probably put on my taskbar. Well, maybe not. Well, blueprint maybe? Yeah. We're gonna have a specialist. Trees and rocks only. One. That's what this one is. Okay. And we're gonna say, hey, everything in this area that is a tree or a rock, clean it up, please. So with part of the construction here, obviously I'm gonna need to start building before it's gonna make much sense space-wise. Well, logically to me, much sense space-wise, is I'm going to try to build all of the 6 novice packs here, right? So red, green, black, blue, purple, and yellow, let's say, or orange. And basically, I want to really overkill it. I want to make sure we've got like 15 second. I want the yellow belts going into the science buildings to have sufficient throughput that we're not like questioning if it's an issue. Now that's going to get more and more and more intensive as we move up from type to type to type. For this first science one, right, a gear is 2 iron plates, so it's basically a whole belt of iron, a half a belt of copper. And then I can turn that whole belt of iron into 1/2 a belt of iron gear. And then once all that's mixed and fed into the science buildings, poof, we're done. That should be doable. The other thing I'm going to do is, as much as this is a cool / quirky idea, you're probably noticing it's backing up in various issues. So this is going. This is not being kept. Just because it's too likely to back up and it's not really rewarding. And it's all going to have to get redesigned anyway whenever I get more quality levels. So I might try something like that again once we have all the quality levels. But right now it's not worth the effort. Is queuing up tons and tons and tons of jobs for the robots to do. So I'm not necessarily expecting any of this to get done anytime soon. And also, it's probably going to cause other problems. Potentially just straight up storage issues. Going to be a little bit careful with the bigger sweeps, so don't take out the important power poles powering the roboports themselves. Otherwise everything's going to stop in the middle of disassembling. We don't have a vertical power line there. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, but at the same time I'm going to put a vertical line in. Just because then we won't have power issues once I accidentally knock one of the horizontal ones out. Anyway, we got 3,000 jobs missing robots. See if I can throw a few more robots in the network. Speed it up a bit. Trying to see if there's anything to pick up here. It doesn't look like it. These are my construction bots. No, those are logistics. Okay, we'll grab 100 construction. Plus more construction bots in the net. Okay, and Vulcanus is having storage issues. Which is not unsurprising, I suppose. There's the chest I'm looking for. At least I think the place I'm looking for. Oh, it's, massive providers and requesters. Okay. So what I want to do is I want storage chests. Put more long-term storage in the network. So it's one thing I also put a lot more storage near location. So if I can get close enough to it, I can just toss, well, where I put these don't necessarily matter. It probably makes sense to somewhat distribute them across the base, but try to put some close to where they're going to need the storage. The rest of the base needs to be flown over. Although it wouldn't be in the religious network, so let's not do it there. Need to put it in the orange area, apparently. Okay, that should hopefully provide enough dumping space for the moment. And we're still waiting for them to clean up with the trees. And to be fair, install the proper network. The network isn't completely installed yet. Just why we got power issues, apparently. Why do you have power issues? A couple of the power poles haven't been installed, okay. So if I've roughly done that right, there should just be a few along the borderline. I didn't want to take the power poles out. There actually isn't any power poles in that gap, so we just take that bit out like so. It's looking mostly designated at this point. I'm not going to completely disassemble the coal mine, because we're going to want the coal mine at some point. We just don't want it where it is right now. And yeah, this is a major mess to clean up and move, which is having consequences. Yeah, having semi-severe consequences. Okay, the next thing I'm wondering is, where did I put my recycling units when I left the planet? Because what I want to do is I want to set up a sort of trash recycling area that I can designate things to be trashed to be sent to. Either for recycling and put back into the system, or for truly trashing. The latter, hopefully, I don't need to do too much. So I suppose I could do a little bit of upcycling with it. That's an option, I suppose, yeah. Instead of trashing, I upcycle. Which, for those that don't necessarily realize what I'm saying when I say upcycle, much like we've been doing quality modules to improve this stuff and to try to get better improvement out of it, right? You can install quality modules in the recycler, in which case it will output a, well, may output a higher quality output. It's not guaranteed to, obviously. So delivering stuff there, but no, it's not where I put the recycler. And I'm pretty sure it, hopefully I put it in the network somewhere. I suppose I can, I'm pretty sure I put them in the network, so if they are in the network, I can just tell the botnet to bring them to me. I'll bring some of them to me. I don't actually need that many. Okay, so they fixed that inserter. They're gonna around to fixing this one. No, of course not. Oh, and we haven't even finished designating that for being taken out yet. So the thought process up here is I'm going to build the base northward. Because we're still going to try to use this train station for delivery of raw materials. I think it's only going to be copper and iron we ship in here, but still going to try to deliver the copper and iron in there. At least until I decide the rail base needs to be improved due to issues, which may happen at some point, to be fair. Not going to discount that as a possibility. And yeah, with the petrol fixed for the moment, we don't have a petrol problem. We have a lack of demand problem, which is why we are proceeding, at least as far as the current base can do, which is 35 science a minute. We are proceeding at speed. Just I want higher than 35 science a minute, and I probably need, you know, whether you're going to describe it as yellow or orange, or actually use the real name on the science, which is utility. I need to add utility into the network. We're already doing blue, we're already doing purple. We don't have any utility, which I'd like to fix. Okay, and the bots were able to find the recyclers for me. And that was where I was put it, of course. I find the chest I'm looking for. After I don't need it anymore. For the course. Don't know what that was doing there for, but we'll pull that up. Okay, this is an example of I don't want the thing to delete it loop. Because, for example, I can just toss a thing in here and it'll go around and get recycled, recycled until it doesn't exist anymore. Do I literally have 31 pumps on me? Why do I have... Oh, I know I have 31 pumps on me. Never mind. For troubleshooting the oil network, that's why I have that many on me. So, to demonstrate... Well, I suppose first I should actually get it working. So, to demonstrate how this works, say I don't want this coal. Dump the coal in here, and it will recycle the coal. Which, there's only a 25% chance that the recycler outputs the recycling. And if it does, it'll output it in this chest, which then gets thrown in this recycler, which only has 25% chance of outputting the output, which gets shoved in this chest, which then gets shoved out, so on and so forth. And then the other thing I want to do is we probably want a sort of manual place. Actually, I probably want this set up as a requester chest. So if I'm off planet and I need to clear something in the network, we can tell the network, bring it to that chest. And get rid of it. Actually, no. What we can do is we can do that, and we can use the upgrade tool. Upgrade that a couple times. And this will roughly do the same thing, but basically do a disassembly of the thing. And I suppose with that, right now, one thing we are going to do is we're going to say, hey, here, request steel furnaces. And this is because at this point I don't need steel furnaces. We have a production of steel furnaces, the steel furnaces in the network that we don't need. Well, that's maybe a good question. Did I tear up the steel furnace producer and it's just in the network? It might just be in the network at this point. Okay, if that's the case, then in theory we should have no instantaneous production. So let's check the production statistics. Okay, we have still... Oh no, that's consumption. Let's say we have consumption of steel furnaces, because of course we do. They're going into the scrapper and getting scrapped. Question is, do we have them in production? I don't think I ever made a lot of them. But I definitely made more than 0. Where are they in this list? Currently, there's none being made. Good to know. Okay, I was confused on how I was getting that side filter reset after I lost the thing I was telling it to destroy. But yeah, that's the main thing. The other thing we'll do is all the upgraded wire and stuff that we'll have to summon forth at some point to get destroyed. Supposed to speed up a little bit. We can go ahead and throw a few more construction robots in the network. Which isn't being produced particularly quickly, but 42 more bots is 42 more bots. Okay, so I think all steel furnaces are gone. Actually, I'll go ahead and leave the steel furnaces in there, because at some point I might tear down the old smeltery. Then we'll have steel furnaces in the network again. Okay, quality greater than normal of iron plates. Normal copper plates. Greater than normal copper cable. So what I'm doing is I'm making it acquire the things that I want destroyed, so I can bring them down here to make them easier to locate and toss into the destroyer. And they'd have to find their way into the network. Oh, never mind. They're not going to work that way. Okay. Of course it won't work that way. That would make it too easy. So we got 72 of those, so we'll request them all. Got 44 of those in network, so we'll request all of those. No processing units got grabbed up in the network yet. Copper wire, similarly, grab those. And I suppose to a certain extent this is going to... Well... Yeah, in a way this should actually delete those. The advantage of this setup is that it's not relying on the bot network or the logistics bots to move them around, to get rid of them. Okay, so while I'm sitting here waiting, we can start to do some design of the new base. Okay. And then what we're going to need is we're going to need a smelting stack, which we do have in blueprints. It's the small version. That's the big version. That's what we want. We're going to be going north here. So that's our full belt of iron and our half a belt of copper. Where if we use the new one, right, so that's 25% faster. Still need to make a half a belt out of that. Wait, what's the speed on gears? I think it's half a second? Half a second for one gear. So 7.5 seconds and one crafting speed. Divide that by 5, that's 2.5 times 4, 10. So I need 10 assemblers, I think, to make what I want. Screen the math up there. Yes, maybe. Let me pull up a calculator so I can do my math. 15 divided by 2. Actually, is it 15 on a belt or is 15 per side? 15 on the belt, so it's 7.5 per side. Don't really need only like 3. So it's a 7.5 per side per second. Divide that by 2 because we can make 2 per second. So it's 3.75 recipes. Well, machines doing recipes at speed 1, and then I gotta divide by 1.25. Yeah, it's like 3. 3 machines. Then we got the count per side. Or it'd be 6 if I screwed them. Let's do a quick Google. Factorio Wiki. Reveal the confusion. transport belt. 15 items. It's still not telling me whether that's per side. Max throughput items per game second for 2 lanes is 15. So it's 7.5, so it's like 3. Okay, so get back into the game. Is this modded or vanilla? I'm getting from the chat. This is vanilla. I don't have any mods running. Though this is the DLC. This is the Space Age DLC. There's the gears. Then, same sort of logic here. I want enough to make 7.5 of these. Which, what, would be... 5 is 1. Well, I suppose I could actually do it based off of the iron gear ratio, right? So that thing's going to make 6 iron gears for every 5 things of that type, making this recipe. So I need like 30? 30 factories making red? 30 green factories making red? Okay, 1, 2, 3, and yeah, this is going to get a bit long. 4, and I need it to go at the fog of war there to finish it up. And in the amount of time of doing all this thinking, the bots have done about 1,000 of the 3,000 jobs I told them to do, so we'll put some more bots in the network to get them go a little bit faster. Depend on a little bit more power. Apparently, I missed delete zone up there. Did I ever get around to fixing? No, I haven't gotten around to fixing it yet. At some point in the past, I made these bad train stations and didn't quite place them right. I fixed it on the ones I've been using, but I didn't go back and fix them on the old ones. I suppose, because I do sort of have the time. Let's go ahead and set up 2 more engines to go running about. Then we can use the new train stations for north instead of south. Anyway, to make this work, I'm going to need engines, of course. So I need to grab what I need for the engines, which is going to be some engines. Walk past. No, I haven't walked past the engine. The engines are below me. Okay, we only need 2 engines. I need the steel and the iron to make cargo wagons. Not right there. At some point I probably want to figure that out, but not today. Okay, so here we're going to want an engine, an engine. Okay, and then we can say you request running rocket fuel on this, or I'm running... I'm running rocket fuel on these, so we can tell you to request rocket fuel. It's in the network. Okay, so add station. What station are you at currently? Question. Chicken runs wild. Where you're at. So chicken runs wild. We want you to fuel all locomotives. Actually, full fuel is better. Full fuel. And then empty cargo. And then we'll say this is the iron one, so we'll send you over to Dark Nakim. And we want you to fill with cargo. And then come back. So it's got an empty cargo, so it's happy. But obviously it doesn't have full fuel yet, so it's not going to leave the fuel station. Don't have orange, so no orange. Based research can we do? So we've got the repeatables. I can do mining or steel. Mining is cheaper, so we'll start on mining. And then you are at Dasaf. And we want you to be empty of cargo, full of fuel. And obviously, if we got an iron one, we need a copper one. Mr. Dark Rider. I'm gonna tell you to go full cargo there. Okay, so assuming the logistics robots can get over here to get those full of fuel, they'll start getting fuel. Waiting for the botnet to extend to north so that we can finish designing that portion of the base. Could jump ahead and start designing the next batch, which is going to be green, which is this transport belt and inserter combo. So that's going to require, for the inserters, 2 belts of iron. Because if we're doing half a belt of green, and that's going to take half a belt of inserter, which itself is going to take 2 belt of iron. Yeah, because the iron gearable takes 2 per half side, plus a half side of electronic circuits, which takes half a belt, and then the half belt for the iron plate. Okay. And the furnace stack is there, yes. Okay, so that's the 2 that I need for the inserters. Oh, how much do I need for the green circuit? And how much copper do I need for the green circuit? So we're going to need 3 copper. Which is 1 to 2. It's half a belt of that. It's going to require a belt and a half of copper cable. Which sort of by definition means I need 3/4 of a belt of copper. I'm not going to round that, so we're just going to say we've got a whole thing of copper going in. The overkill from the smelting point, but that should be fine. Okay, and then gears and plates. Of course, for the plates, we only need half a small sack. Okay, so that'll be the gears. And then this one I need it to be half plate. Half going towards the green circuit. So we'll say the half plate can just go... Actually, how do I want to guarantee that this will be half a plate? Yeah, that'll be fine. We get the merger here, will work to do that for me. Green circuits are made at the same speed as gears, so in theory it will just be 3 gear factories. Need it again for the inserters, or for the green circuits. So we could just go ahead and borrow something like that again. Plop it down. But then all we need to do is we need to change the... Yeah, wasn't what I wanted to click. Okay. There we go. So it'll be green. And obviously we need to sort out how we're going to feed copper into it. We got a whole belt of copper to do that with. Okay. And because it's a belt and half of that, right? Don't know if those inserters are going to be fast enough, but we'll find out. And then what? That's 3 inputs. This puts out 2. So I need 5 for that to work. I suppose I could do 6. 6 would work as well. Okay. And the reason I'm contemplating 6 is 6 would have some degree of semi-usable symmetry to it. Okay. Will this be green science? Yes, I'm trying to do an entire half a belt, yellow belt of green science, so I'm building up a bunch of input for the green science to work. I already have like green science, but it's like one green science, well, 3/4 of green science per second down here. I can find it. Oh, I moved it over to the other side, that's why I'm not finding it. Right, which is just a 3 tier 2s running green, or 6 tier 2s running green. Obviously, being a little bit slower than the red. Which is basically what we're going to do up here, but we're going to do more, obviously. Alright, so whereas the red side is going to be 30 long, the left side will be 36 long. Like so. Which just then means I need to say this needs to get copied. Okay, we're still waiting for the botnet to expand. Should have some of those in the network. 37 entities. I have to assume that it's going to be a bot problem, not a production problem. Nope, we got another passive storage, so we just got, well, I might have 87 orders out for that, I suppose. That might make sense. Because there's only 50 in the network, so if there's more than 50 orders out, then we'd be short, and that makes sense. Oh, again, we got iron coming in. Oh, I forgot to slate you to automatic. Okay, so that's going, so we'll have copper coming in. Those can get plumbed in to start providing stuff once I got these set up. I suppose in a way I don't actually want them providing stuff until it is set up, so it's probably a good thing that it isn't working right now. As this gets built, I will probably tear up the laser turret wall here. It'll make it easier to get the ore out. Okay, that cleanup's almost done. Of course. Of course this one isn't working because the last power pole isn't in. That's... When the system doesn't work, it's always weird things like that. That's the case with that one. I'm actually surprised that this has been assembled before the roboports have. Oh, and I'm just remembering I'm doing this as a YouTube video, and I've been trying to keep the episodes to 30, 40 minutes long. If you're watching YouTube, I hope you've been enjoying. You've been getting an extra long episode as I've been trying to get the bots to do things. Actually, somewhat surprised that the... Oh, because a bunch of the power poles are missing in the middle of the section. That makes sense. So if you're watching on YouTube, this is where I'm going to go ahead and put the part break in. So I hope you've been enjoying, and until the next part, wish you the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part. Bye for now.